Hey, it's Gail the Note Gal with this week's Noteworthy Nugget. Last week I promised you I was going to do a 6-week segment of Noteworthy Nuggets. Well, this is week 2. And this week we're going to be talking about notes versus fix and flips. Now, as some of you know, if you've been following my life story, I used to do buy and holds, fix and flips, and I was a realtor. Well, I still do buy and holds, and I used to like doing fix and flips until I found notes. So I wanted to do the pros and cons and kind of compare the two of them, just to kind of give you an idea of what they're like. So this week we're doing notes versus fix and flips. I got my little notes of notes and fix and flips. Anyhow, I love fix and flips, or I used to love fix and flips, because I used to like to take a really ugly house and fix it up. And it's kind of a neat thing to do. I thought it would be great for the economy. I thought it'd be great for neighborhoods and everything else like that, contractors. And I built a team of contractors. Now, if I ever get any chance to do that again here in the Central Florida area, I'm definitely going to do it, because I still have a lot of Tier 1 contractors that I know and work with. However, we had Matthew and Irma come through, and a lot of those contractors got busy. So I still have those relationships built, but I'm going to give you the pros and cons so you'll understand a little bit more about it. I love them. I've got a lot of project management skills that I built over time with NASA, budgeting, not just budgets for household budgets, but project, because that's a lot bigger, different than doing a household budget. But I have that skill set built, and it's a very valuable skill set that you can take and put that into doing flips. But anyhow, I've got a knack for doing that. But it came a time when those wonderful TV shows came around that it got hard to find inventory. And then you get seminars that come into Orlando, because Orlando is a very popular area, Melbourne and Orlando, for folks coming in to tout their wares of, oh yeah, everybody can be a realtor, investor, and everything else like that. So everybody became an investor about 3 or 4 years ago. Inventory became impossible to find. So there you go. You couldn't find inventory to do buy and holds and fix and flips if you wanted to. Everybody said you could. Many people said you could. It got very hard. So hard to find inventory. That's when I found notes and started doing performing notes. Then started doing non-performing notes. So anyhow, comparing, I digress. Let's get back to that. So when you're doing a project or a flip, you have to pretty much stay there or have a team that can take care of it. My hair's standing up. That you have to be there with constant eyes on the project if you really want to do it right, because time is everything. And you have to turn these around pretty quickly. I got to where I could turn a house in about 6 weeks. I know that sounds pretty dramatic, but I did. I got systems and processes in place that I could turn it around. For example, if somebody was, you do the outside first, in most cases, and you have to do it around the weather here. Okay, so if it's not raining, everybody's doing the outside, and then you can do the inside, and I've got ways to do that. I can do a condo in about 3 weeks, start to finish, and I'm talking from the time I closed until I was closing with a new buyer. So yeah, I know it sounds pretty quick, but you have to stay on it, and you have to stay on those budgets. And like I said, I built my team, my realtors, contractors, lenders, insurance agents. You have to constantly market. You start marketing as soon as you buy it. So that's why I was able to turn them pretty quickly. You have to do all that. A lot of that is what you do with notes also. But I like notes because they're cleaner and you can do them nationwide. Okay, I did the Central Florida area. Orlando up to Daytona, down to the Palm Bay area. It's a big triangle, but usually within about 60 miles of where I live is where my team is located, and that they're willing to work, the solid team that I have. Anyhow, what should you expect to earn? That's the other big question, right? Well, I'm a realtor, so I have a big in with that, because I could charge my own corporation, sort of, and charge my corporation. Like, it's kind of sketchy, but anyhow, I could charge myself a commission, get myself a commission, and earn my own commission. Or I could just co-broke and put it out there, put 3% on something, and then just, market it myself, and then, because I know all the ins and outs of doing that. So I would, basically give a co-broke. It's basically how that works. Most people can't do that unless they're a realtor and know how to do that. So, I'd get 12 to 15%. Busting my bottom to get 12 to 15%, and then I'm dancing in the street. Sometimes you could get a little bit more, but that's basically what you can get on a flip, okay? I know it sounds really great and sexy. You can get a little bit more sometimes, you can get a little bit less. But I can almost guarantee you, every flip you're going to do, you're going to rip out a wall, because if it's a 1960s, 1970s house, there's going to be a wall that comes down. We used to joke with my granddaughter, she'd walk in, she'd say, which wall's coming down? If it's a condo, sadly, we'd have to tell her there's no walls coming down. But that's always surprises. There's always about a 10% that we would put in there for an oops factor. And if we didn't have an oops factor, then that was money that we could pocket. But you're going to have that, okay? I can tell you some fun stories with oops factors that I had. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. But I could walk in, and I did walk in. I would go to, Home Depot. I'm a lot of fun to shop with, like at Home Depot or Lowe's or something, because I would go drop $35,000 and have everything delivered to the garage. The first time I did that, my husband, business partner, freaked. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't like to go back and forth. You go buy it, you put it on our contractor's credit card, and then you pay it off, and well, that's another story, but that's part of our systems." So still, that's what you expect. Now, you don't get that with notes. You get, higher returns than that. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the returns are, because every note is different. You hear all these greater than average returns and all that other stuff, but I like solid returns. I like, that's for that'll be for a different week. You'll just have to wait. So anyhow, that's basically the pros and cons, or, comparing the two. I don't want to get this too long. I'm already up to over almost 8 minutes. So that's just basically it. Notes versus fix and flips. It's kind of fun. If I come up to where I have to take a note back, foreclose or whatever, which is actually my business model right now, I know how to handle them. I know how to handle non-performers. I like to get everything re-performed and everything, so I hope you enjoyed it this week. Next week we'll have another one. You'll have to stay tuned to find out what it is. So wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. We'll be out of town, as most people will be, or traveling, spending time with family. I know folks get all stressed out about spending time with family this time of year. Well, if you got family, consider yourself blessed. So talk to you later. Have a great week.